Hello, everybody. Update. We did it. The 4 subs that I've started with this here build, I've actually got them completed. So that part of the ride is finished. I thought they turned out pretty cool. There's a slight little mistake. They got a little too fast on some of the stuff. But I tried to keep it all lined up and looking pretty good. You can actually sit in a boat. You can actually take the ride and go around on the ride. So it works. The reason I had to put in the 4 different platforms, each platform has its own sub now, and that way they don't run into each other. Each kind of on their own circuit. So when one leaves this here platform, the other 3 leave their platform. So they're all kind of in sync that way, and I don't have them running into each other. The other thing I had to do is I had to fix that corner for Grizz's area there because I kept running through it, clipping through it. So we fixed that. That's working pretty good now. Each of the subs now has its own portholes. Like I've said before, actual submarines don't have portholes because glass should be the weakest point, and you don't want that glass busting out or busting in. So, if they are, they're very small, very thick, and they're pressure treated. But most submarines that go deep do not have portholes. Imagine just be something else they'd have to kind of seal up. But it'd be kind of neat to be able to look out when you're down below. Okay, we're going to need some new music there, okay? Get that put in. All the transitions are done already. But this is us working on RDF 20, 21, 22, and 23, which is Rubber Duck Fleet, which would be Old Riz's Rubber Duck Fleet. That's what the RDF stands for. And I numbered each sub. So I couldn't remember where I left off in the 10s and the teens. So I started in 20, so it's 21, 22, 23, and 24. I'll be back. We're going to get some music put in. I like what we got now. It's real low in the background. I want something that we're going to kind of toe tap and like go with the video here. And I'm basically finishing up the subs so that I can go on to something else, which would be doing up the platforms. Alright, there you go. Some new music in there. But like I was saying before, I put some details on the subs, and what I was doing is so that each sub is kind of looks the same and they're similar. I kind of do one thing to this sub, then I do the same thing to the other 3. So that kind of took a while, but and some of the stuff I had to change. I kind of wanted kind of different deck on top, but that's about the only thing I could find, and I had trouble bringing in different lights to put on the subs. So, but I kind of picked and choose some of the ones that are already on the subs, and was able to copy and paste that. And yeah, I suppose there would be a lot of light poles sitting on top of a sub, but I use that to actually light the subs up at night so you can see them a little better. And that's kind of why I do it a little bit later, where I take that one light pole and I copy it and move it a couple of times in different spots around the sub, lights the sub up. And it's not too intrusive, but it just, real subs wouldn't have all those light poles. But what it could do is they could retract them when they're going to dive, and then put them back up when they come up on the surface. Just like telescopes, they could do that same thing with the lights, retract them, and then when you surface, you put them back out, lighten up the deck so you can do different stuff on the surface. And like these here subs are just basic, look like they could go down under, but they don't. They just follow the track or the that I had created there for them to run on. And I tried to get it as close to the surface as the water, because I didn't really want it to show too much, but every time I put the water up a little bit higher, it flood out the buildings that would be flooded out, so I couldn't have that. The platforms and stuff like that all flood if I take the water up any higher. So the water had to stay where it's at. And the thing with the landscaping thing, once you put the water in and you move on to something else, it's really hard to fix that or change that to go back and change it. So that's why I redoing a lot of this, and I wanted to put a lot of stuff on the inside now. There you go, daylight. This one doesn't have all the lights on it yet, but see, it's real dark at night. I tried to put some other lights on it. Like I said, I was having trouble getting to attach them. So there was like different lights I couldn't use that I wanted to. So I had to come up with something, because at night it was really dark. Sometimes it's too dark. I wanted some lights to light the whole thing up. And like I said, I figured something out. That's kind of what's fun with the game, is kind of trying to find like workaround different things. Because these subs started out as totally something different. As you can see, I got a couple of them up there up front. That would be 10 and 11. I think 12 is over here in this other pool. But those are the littler subs I created when I first started. And the other submersibles are the two that are in the pool bouncing up and down. I created those when I first started doing this, and then that's when I realized you could attach these to certain things in the ride. For instance, let's say instead of using the riverboat ride and creating my own track, if I'd put in, let's say, the lazy river that has the circular tubes, like inner tubes that float down with maybe 6 or 7 people. And the thing with that is it'd be kind of cool, but they spin. So anything you create on top of that tube, inner tube, when you activate run tube, it'll spin and turn. So your subs would be spinning and turning like would be going around the track. So that one would work for something, but maybe not for that. That's why I use this one here, because it provides the sound of the boat, right? The chugga. So it sounds like the submarine's actually chugging along. And it's kind of neat. And that's why I use the boats. And then you can create your own track for it to ride on. And then it's kind of similar to what you find at Disneyland and Disney World for 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and the other one was just Finding Nemo or something like that, I think it was. That's back in the day when the movie Nemo was first coming out, and they used that sub to do the Nemo thing. But when I was there, it was, oh yeah, that was it. Because when I was a kid, we were at one in Florida, which was 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which I think is shut down now. I don't think it's running anymore. It was a cool ride. That's what this is kind of based on. It's kind of making fun of the fact that when we were in there and you looked up, you could see the surface of the water. It's supposed to be at 2,000 fathoms. Okay, that's where a few feet below, because the sub that you're on doesn't actually dive down deep into the water. It rides on the surface, and that's kind of what these are doing. But you can actually get on board as a guest, and you can actually see out, and you can actually take it for a ride. It actually works. The only problem is the manhole, the portholes actually show on the inside, but I think you can look between. It's okay. There's one of them. That's one of those little ones I built when I first started doing this. And then my buddy, he's got one. Oh, I can't wait to go try out that one. He's got a roller coaster, and the cars are covered wagons. It's kind of like I think he's doing the alien cowboy alien thing. And because you got the cowboys and then you got the aliens, you can have a really pretty cool shootout scene. He's got the ride that cars are going through the desert, which winds in and underneath the roller coaster with the covered wagon. I can't believe it looks cool. He likes to give me some previews of stuff he's doing as he's going along. I do the same thing. I shoot him different images and stills and a couple clips showing him how I'm progressing. And then I get ideas from him. He goes, why don't you try this? Yeah, alright, hey. Yeah, no worries. So I like listening and taking ideas and using. Oh, there it is. That's one of the completed. There's the completed summary now. And if you notice, I got a little bit of light work on them. Like I said, if it needs to die in reality, you could have all those lights retract if you were the telescope. Make it dive ready and then dive down. Then when they retract into where they're at, then they can light up the compartments that they're going down into. But that was my way of being able to light up these submarines so you can see them at night a little better. And there's a first platform. I'm starting to work on it. We're going to enclose that like we did over there on the slide at the pavilion, and I had a couple of the screens inside, like that one over there on the right where that slide goes down into the pool, where I got one of those submersibles going up. But that's so cool. That's so cool. See, I got it all lit up. You can see them now. So the little bit of details and stuff you put in, it's kind of looks kind of cool. Now the test will be to see if people are going to get on. I haven't opened this up yet to the customers. Kind of want to get this here built up, because I want to cover this all up once I get everything inside done. Put a pool or some different things up on top with a flat ride or two, and that way people can go up to the top. That's going to be Hilltop Splash Top, which I already did that on my other car. And on the inside, it's easier to work on it this way. For instance, I went back to put some lights on the Space Needle ride, kind of light it up a little bit. Because it could be dark in there and cover it up. Even daylight it can be dark, and that's the whole idea. So I want to get this built first, then I'm going to build the other 3 platforms. And they're all going to be similar. I'm going to give it the impression that it's kind of like an organization that's doing, carrying out maybe research. So it'd be like research vessels as opposed to being combat-ready vessels. Kind of good, because I want a couple diving bells I need to make. Then there's a paddle boat I can use for like maybe a base, but they can use one of the diving bell on. I already created that scene, so I'm going to have to recreate that inside too. Do it all before I close it up. I'll close it up and I'll be about that. It'll be cool. And then at that point, it'll be close to opening it up. And the park looks so much better when there's gas in the park. Okay, finish up the music and we're good. Good job, Miss Wood. Script clip cut and then post, put it in the can on the show. Immediately studios for Larry Grizz, Winning Jazz. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. Okay, slide this down, please.